I really wanted to ask you, how are you getting on with your golden egg? Er, not bad, Harry said untruthfully. Bagman seemed to know he wasn't being honest. Listen, Harry, he said, still in a very low voice. I feel very bad about all this. You were thrown into this tournament. You didn't volunteer for it. And if... His voice was so quiet now, Harry had to lean closer to listen. If I can help at all, a prod in the right direction. I've taken a liking to you. The way you got past that dragon, well, just say the word. Harry stared up into Bagman's round, rosy face and his wide, baby blue eyes. We're supposed to work out the clues alone, aren't we? He said, careful to keep his voice casual and not sound as though he was accusing the head of the Department of Magical Games and Sports of breaking the rules. Well, yes, said Bagman impatiently, but come on, Harry. We all want a Hogwarts victory, don't we? Have you offered Cedric help? Harry said. The smallest of frowns creased Bagman's smooth face. No, I haven't. Well, like I say, I've taken a liking to you. Just thought I'd offer. Well, thanks, said Harry, but I think I'm nearly there with the egg. Couple more days should crack it. He wasn't entirely sure why he was refusing Bagman's help, except that Bagman was almost a stranger to him, and accepting his assistance would feel somehow more like cheating than asking advice from Ron, Hermione, or Sirius. Bagman looked almost affronted, but couldn't say much more as Fred and George turned up at that point. Hello, Mr. Bagman, said Fred brightly. Can we buy you a drink? No, said Bagman, with a last disappointed glance at Harry. No thank you, boys. Fred and George looked quite as disappointed as Bagman, who was surveying Harry as though he had let him down badly. Well, I must dash, he said. Nice seeing you all. Good luck, Harry. He hurried out of the pub. The goblins all slid off their chairs and exited after him. Harry went to rejoin Ron and Hermione. What did he want? Ron said, the moment Harry had sat down. He offered to help me with the golden egg, said Harry. He shouldn't be doing that, said Hermione, looking very shocked. He's one of the judges. And anyway, you've already worked it out, haven't you? Nearly, said Harry. Well, I don't think Dumbledore would like it if he knew Bagman was trying to persuade you to cheat, said Hermione, still looking very disapproving. I hope he's trying to help Cedric as much. He's not, I asked. Who cares if Diggory's getting help, said Ron. Harry privately agreed. Those goblins didn't look very friendly, said Hermione, sipping her butterbeer. What were they doing here? Looking for Crouch, according to Bagman, said Harry. He's still ill, hasn't been in to work. Maybe Percy's poisoning him, said Ron. Probably thinks if Crouch snuffs it, he'll be made head of Department of International Magical Cooperation. That's horrible. Hermione gave Ron a don't joke about things like that kind of a look and said, funny, goblins looking for Mr. Crouch. They normally deal with the Department of the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Crouch can speak loads of different languages, though, said Harry. Maybe they need an interpreter. Ay, ay, ay. Worrying about poor ickle goblins now, are you? Ron asked Hermione. Thinking of starting a SPUG or something? Society for the Protection of Ugly Goblins? Ha ha ha, said Hermione sarcastically. Goblins don't need protection. Haven't you been listening to what Professor Binns has been telling us about goblin rebellions? No, said Harry and Ron together. Well, they're quite capable of dealing with wizards, said Hermione, taking another sip of butterbeer. They're very clever. They're not like house elves, who never stick up for themselves. Uh-oh, said Ron, staring at the door. Rita Skeeter had just entered. She was wearing banana yellow robes today. J.K. Rowling likes to talk about what Rita Skeeter wears. Her long nails were painted shocking pink, and she was accompanied by her paunchy photographer. Oh, man. Ah. Excuse me. Ka-chai! Karate chop! Karate chop! Karate chop! Karate chop! Oh, now I've lost my place. Hey. Paunchy photographer. She bought drinks, and she and the photographer made their way through the crowds to a table nearby Harry and Ron and Hermione. I read that wrong too. And she and the photographer made their way through the crowds to a table nearby. Harry, Ron, and Hermione glaring at her as she approached. She was talking fast and looking very satisfied about something. Let's make sure, who's saying this? Okay, this could be Rita Skeeter, but I'm not sure. Didn't seem very keen to talk to us, did he, Bozo? Now, why would that be, do you think? And what's he doing with a pack of goblins in tow, anyway? I guess this is Skeeter. Showing them the sights. I can't remember how I do her voice. What nonsense. He was always a bad liar. Reckon something's up? Think we should do a bit of digging? Disgraced head of magical games and sports, Ludo Bagman. Snappy start to a sentence, Bozo. We just need to find a story to fit it. Okay, that was definitely Skeeter. Trying to ruin someone else's life, said Harry loudly. A few people turned around. Rita Skeeter's eyes widened behind her bejeweled spectacles as she saw who had spoken. Harry! Oh, good gracious, she said, beaming. How lovely. Why don't you come and join? I wouldn't come near you with a 10-foot broomstick, said Harry furiously. What did you do that to Hagrid for, eh? Rita Skeeter raised her heavy, penciled eyebrows. Our readers have a right to the truth, Harry. I am merely doing my... Who cares if he's half giant? Harry shouted. There's nothing wrong with him. The whole pub had gone very quiet. Madame Rosmerta was staring over from behind the bar, apparently oblivious to the fact that the flagon she was filling with mead was overflowing. Rita Skeeter's smile flickered very slightly, but she hitched it back almost at once. She snapped open her crocodile skin handbag and pulled out her quick quotes quill and said, How about giving me an interview about the Hagrid you know, Harry? The man behind the muscles? Your unlikely friendship and the reasons behind it? Would you call him a father substitute? Hermione stood up very abruptly, her butterbeer clutched in her hand as though it were a grenade. "You horrible woman," she said, through gritted teeth. "You don't care, do you? Anything for a story. And anyone will do, won't they? Even Ludo Bagman." "Sit down, you silly little girl, and don't talk about things you don't understand," said Rita Skeeter coldly, her eyes hardening as they fell on Hermione. "I know things about Ludo Bagman that would make your hair curl. Not that it needs it," she added, eyeing Hermione's bushy hair. "Ooh, hoo, hoo. Are they about to get in a fight right there in the Three Broomsticks?" "I don't know. I haven't even read ahead. I don't even know what's about to happen."